away from all the drama on social media. Let's get into the world of music. And today on the show, I am joined by two amazing performers. Getting used to them, you know, being in the studio, but I would definitely say guaranteed, confirmed. I've seen, I've heard, I've witnessed amazing performers, Oiza and Meyi. We've done this before. How does it feel like? This is like, I feel like we should go back and watch your interview.
You should.
Yeah, we should.
You should actually go back and hear some of the things that you said about your dreams and the hopes that you have.
Yeah.
Because that was, even for me, like even the studio is a different setup from when we last had a conversation. But really though, how has it been like for you both? I just have to start with you, Oiza.
Honestly, it's been fun. It has shown me like the kind of strength that I have, the kind of perseverance I have. You don't really know what you're made of until you're tested. And so I've found out personally what I'm made of through this process, because it's not being a creative in general when it's weird, it's like a drug. When it's high. When it's low, you can be in it like a romp. So it's kind of, it's been,
Yeah, what about you, Meyi?
Well, I would say personally, it's just been a lot of learning. But ultimately, I'm proud and glad that this is the road I've decided to take, because music has put me in rooms that I didn't think I would be in. So I'm grateful for that. So
how many years in total now has it been?
Okay, so wait, let me do this. Okay, so I know you want to say 4, but I would say 2. Let me tell you why.
Okay, tell
because
me.
The first year, COVID, I don't count it. And then the second year, we've only been focusing on music solely for 2 years.
Fair.
The first year was COVID, nobody was really doing anything. Second year we were doing NYSC.
So when you were doing IJGB, what year, how many years ago was IJGB?
That was 2020.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, why does it feel like you were going to tell me like, oh, it's been like 5-6 years or something?
Yeah, when you put it like that, it makes me sound happy, because we've been having conversations recently, maybe more so me, I've been like, oh, I've been in this game for a long time. And people are like, what are you people saying? There are people that have been doing this thing for like 7-8 years, 10 years, and they're just barely scratching the surface. So me, I cannot complain.
Exactly, that's amazing.
So that's why I said professionally.
So professionally 2 years, but all in all 4 years.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed that you guys are now getting in the studio.
Yeah.
I have one question. Why have you not recorded IJGB?
So we have recorded it. But like sometimes what it is that when you're in one space, that's why they encourage you to do something when you are in it.
Okay.
Because IJGB, at the time that we wrote it, we were in a different headspace in terms of musicality and what we wanted our sound to be. So it's just been a lot of trying to figure out who we were then with who we are now musically.
I understand.
So we had recorded it and then we didn't release it at the time. But now, like 2 years or 3 years down the line, we're listening to it and we're like, this doesn't sound like who we are now.
Yeah.
So it's like we're trying to find a juxtaposition between the two sounds. So that's big words.
English.
No, but okay, so who are you guys now then? Because is this like reintroducing us to Oiza and Meyi type of?
In a
like
way.
with Santi, with Outside. I noticed this, it's similar. The only difference is it's less quirky.
Yeah. So go ahead.
I not like I'm trying to like down the way we were before. So a lot of the music that we had at the time was like, I'll say leftover music from when we were in secondary school, when we were in university, when things were, and necessarily even like, I would even say our command of English as a language, or our command of just words generally in terms of how to present it and how to summarize it and express our feelings without, because we like to talk, right? It takes a certain level of discipline to be able to summarize what you're saying. So as we've gotten older, we're now keeping it a lot, not necessarily short and sweet, but like more summarized in a way that, as opposed to saying, when I was walking down the road, I was walking down the road and I then walked, and then it's like, okay, I came down the stairs and I turned left. That's a better way of saying it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we are in terms of our like songwriting and our like production, and our voices have changed. We don't sing the same way anymore, and we're more so now, because before we were trying to figure out how to be funny and get punchlines in, now we're like, we can actually sing. So we want to be able to showcase that we're actually vocalists. Like, we're good performers, but like the vocals don't necessarily play a part in the quirky, because if you're being quirky, you can't be doing do you understand? So we're trying to find.
So we're going from quirky to serious. Meyi, would you agree?
Yeah, I would. Like I said, everything for me is finding a middle ground, because I think we're quite funny people.
Yes, very.
I mean, if music doesn't work out, comedy is the way, man. It's the way for basket children. That's what we call it. But it's
Basket children.
For me, For me, it's like we're just trying to find the middle ground, and that's what it is for me, like finding the middle ground. There is a couple of songs that are still quite quirky, but like we need to give people who we are in stages.
Yeah.
So right now we're in the stage where it's like, look guys, we sang in bathroom, we're great on stage, but we are recording artists.
Yeah.
So listen to our recorded songs and let them be a little more tailored towards a music lover's taste as opposed to someone that likes content.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so it's no more like content creation now.
Yes, it's more music.
Yeah.
The content creation is still there, still part of our journey, but it's like, listen to the music. Because being in the industry for as long as we've been in now, there are lots of things that we've learned. And if you check it, a lot of the people who have high numbers on on their streaming platforms are not necessarily the biggest people on social media.
Yeah, true.
Especially if they're starting out.
Especially if they're starting out, their focus is the music.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, it's just a thing. So we're trying to find a way to find the balance between the two. I feel like we have a command of the social media space.
You do.
So what we're trying to do now is find a command of the streaming platforms and all of that, and recording and all of that.
That now takes, because when it's live music, you know, it's just, there's another way to look at it. Look what Glitch is doing. Look what Clout is doing. I have one of your Clout performances here. I feel like there's also a space for that, right? Yes. That is, I don't know if it's, you guys have been doing it way before a lot of these whole thing started, its resurgence.
Yeah.
So do you think that's also a space where you might want to do these type of performances, and then why can't this be a recorded song? I don't understand.
It can be.
So you have to start in, so the honest truth is, the way that music is looked at as an industry, as a business, is that your music, your records are what shows that you're serious. So I'll give you an example. The Cavemen, for example. Now, the Cavemen are phenomenal performers. How I know them is from their performances, and I went and looked for the music. The fact is that the music has to be there. Whether or not you like it, that music has to be there, because it's like, you've read, then the music is we can't take you serious. It's like you don't have a CV if you do not have any music out.
Understand.
So how many of you know who I am, right? Like, people know who we are. Then you go back and then there's
I
nothing
get it.
to.
There's
I
nothing
get
to
it.
go
It's
back
just
and
like,
about.
you know how Johnny Drill used to have his living room sessions,
Yeah.
right? And everybody was so obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Imagine after listening to that amazing
he had no
performance,
music
and then
out.
you go back and then you can't find anything.
And every time you have to perform, you reintroduce yourself because you don't have so the songs that you listen to and you love, there's nothing to refer back to. So the next time I'm performing, I'm reintroducing myself. It's like I'm a new artist
Every
all
time.
over
Every
again.
single time.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's fun in the beginning when you're after some time it gets like not necessarily annoying. I won't say annoying because I like reintroducing myself. I mean, please, hi, know me, you know. But it's like you just be.
It makes you feel stuck.
Yeah, like you're not growing
Sometimes, yeah.
sometimes. Like you're still in the, like when you start to feel uncomfortable in the space that you're in, it means it's time to
Move.
Yeah. So that's just what it is, honestly.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So now what's that experience, that shift? Because we were just talking about Rema and how he was talking about feedback, and this is something that you both have been doing for the longest time.
yeah.
So can you relate to what Rema was saying?
Yeah.
That thing will throw
That
you
thing-
off.
so
you
what
can fall
happens-
off stage because of how confusing it is.
Yeah, so what
honestly.
happens sometimes is like, I won't blame anybody. I won't say it's the sound people, because we know power in this country is not
Stable.
stable. So that can affect their setup as well.
Yeah.
So if they do this and then they take lights and then they bring lights and then what you have set up has now changed, it can be difficult for you to now understand all of that. And if you're not someone that is used to performing on stage, that thing will throw you for a loop. And being on stage and what you practice, I don't know how to explain it. Sometimes you can practice something in a certain key and then you climb on stage and for some reason it seems lower.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain
So
it.
like it always happens to us. So we'll be in rehearsal and we're singing and I'm like, my throat is killing me, it's too high. Then we get on stage and they hand us the microphone and I'm sounding like Tony Braxton. It's low as low.
So there's a whole mastery that you have to have of the space that you're in. So that sound thing is also something that can throw you off for a loop. And sometimes someone like Rema doesn't have time to be waiting
For you to figure
it out. He probably has like 20 other thousand shows to do that day. So he's going to be like sayonara piece.
Yeah.
But like if you are in a more intimate setting, there's a way you can find.
You can finesse through the whole
finesse
system.
through it,
Yeah.
So now that you guys have done live, now you're getting into that whole recording space. What's that been like for you? Is it as easy to just go in?
I mean, we're two different people, so you might have to ask that question individually.
Okay, so Oiza, how is it for you?
Man, I don't like it. I do not like it at all.
Why?
I don't think anybody should be faced with how they sound. No, I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Nobody should have to hear their voice so clear.
Why?
I know what I sound like when it's like recording a voice note. You heard yourself when you were talking.
Yeah.
Playing it back, usually you're like,
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Yes.
it's like, is this really how I pronounce my Peter? Peter sounds weird. Like, I don't know why I'm sounding like, it picks up every little thing. So it puts, because on stage it's very, because I'm with my guy here, so it's chill, I'm vibing, and when you're recording, honestly, it's just you. And you have to stick to a script because there's the way the beat is, then there's the metronome, you have to follow the metronome, and one thing, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on myself because one thing can affect another person. If I sing it off, it can mess up the way she sings, so it's like stressful. But I mean, I don't think it's that deep. Maybe it's just my head, honestly. I just think I'm being stressed out.
Meyi, what is it?
I don't have a problem with it at all. I happen to like it a lot.
Really?
I would say a lot because I'm trying to. Is the word delve?
Hey.
I'm trying to dive into like
delve.
Delve. Thank you. I'm trying to delve into like the recording space. Like I want to learn producing, engineering, all of that. So
lovely.
I'm having the time of my life. To be very honest with you. So to me, it's fun, and I don't take. It's not that deep for me. Like I'm not afraid if I make a mistake. So there's a delete button.
Yeah.
They can just delete
they
it.
delete it? Is
Yeah.
it that
Are they
easy?
wicked?
No, I mean,
They can
like
delete it.
after recording a whole.
No, they won't let you go
They won't
far
go far
to
if it's
recording
bad.
a whole song. By the time
Okay.
you hit that, also depends on the kind of producer that you have. Because there are certain producers that don't say anything to you because they're just more so. There's passionate producers that won't work with people that can't do it, and there's producers that will just work with you because if you bring money and you want to waste your time and sing what you like, they still, it all depends. So some producers on the first note, they're like, be like, say, you go try them again. Do you understand? Before you, and then some people would now, because they don't necessarily know the temperament of the artist, so sometimes they won't say if you sang it well or not.
Yeah.
But most of the producers that we work with, as soon as you hit the first note, if it doesn't sound good,
They'll let
They
you
let
they'll
know.
be like, yo, this thing, it's not like, okay, it doesn't fit like this, or try it a different way.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about good or bad sometimes. It's just like, if you approach it aggressively, it might not fit the song. You might have to sing a little softer. Small things like that.
Okay, so now I noticed that you both are always, this is like keeping up with Oiza and Meyi special. So I noticed you guys are also getting into Lagos a lot now. I see you guys back and forth.
Yeah.
So what's that about? I hear people would often say, oh, Abuja is not where any artist wants to be. But would you agree with that? Because I see both of you in both spaces.
I don't agree because it depends on what your goal is.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is your goal? Because there's mainstream success, quote unquote, and then there's success. It's just you have to define what success is to you.
Yeah.
Now, going to Lagos and assuming just because you've gone to Lagos you're going to blow is not a sensible way to look at it.
Yeah.
Because there has to be something, in my opinion, that there has to be a need for you in that space before you now start moving. But if you're where you are and you're loved where you are, sometimes when you're as good as you are, people from other places come to meet you.
Yes.
So I feel like it's all about your perspective and how you see it. Now, Odumodu has shown us that you can success. You can live anywhere, literally, and have the success that you need.
They'll come and pick you from here and take you where you need to be.
I have a friend who's like an amazing musician. Like he's Abuja based, but a lot of his streaming is from Norway.
Oh,
And I'm talking in millions.
Millions.
I'm not talking
Norway.
Norway.
It's like maybe Eastern Europe.
That's what I'm saying. Like Scandinavian countries, that area.
wow,
His
bro.
streams are huge from there. So, and he lives in Abuja. If he now said to himself, okay, let me sit down, go to Lagos and try and
what's the point?
what's the
You don't even
point?
have to- I
You don't
understand where
have.
you both are coming
It'll
from.
be great to go there if the opportunity presents itself because there are lots of things that happen there.
Yeah.
But then there's also something about making your space conducive for you
Yeah.
that I feel is the need that Abuja artists need to have,
Yeah.
so that they don't come and disrespect you from wherever. Just make yourself a king where you are, and then other
People will
kingdoms.
look on. Yeah, they'll come
I like that. I'm
Fall
happy
in
that you
line.
both are not going anywhere. I was kind of worried. I'm like, oh my God, are they going to go to Lagos?
No, it's just that we had like
Work stuff.
Work
Yeah,
stuff,
that you
like-
had to be there for.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's next now? What's happening? Are you producing? I know you've released Santi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that the song? Did I get it right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we released a song called Santi, then we released Outside, which was a follow-up
Yeah.
single.
If
then
you
we,
want to die,
Right.
you can go outside, go, go.
So we've also been
We've been part of two
album collaborations with
Oh.
Encore Records and Plug. So we have a song called Megida. It's on the Plug on the Encore album, and then we have Hotbox that's on the Plug album. And then as for us, we're about to release another single this year.
What's it gonna be called?
It's
Do you want to tell them?
It's called Mumuna
It's called
Forever.
Mumuna Forever.
When I did a love song.
No.
Do you know us at all?
No, it's not. It's not. That's a very good question. It is certainly not a love song. But why though, Oiza Meyi? Why can't you both just surprise us and give us like a love ballad?
We'll give you a love song for Master Jesus.
Yeah. Jesus is the only lover. I mean, love songs are cool, but
I mean, be you until you become somebody else.
yeah.
I can't wait to hear it. When is it coming out?
End of this month.
End of this month.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, you both are having a good time then.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
would you say the biggest challenge right now is for you as an artist? And I'm going to ask you as well. The biggest challenge for you as an artist.
So, biggest, obviously, there's the obvious ones of every general artist. There's the generic ones. Obviously, funding, blah, 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 blah. Those ones are, if you Google it, you find it. Those, you understand? But I think personally for me, it would be, I just got into a space where I'm not afraid anymore. Which is funny because I'm not somebody that's shy. It's just that I'll just sit down and be like, okay, before I do something, I'm overthinking. I'm not afraid anymore. Now it's like, I'm who I am, take me as I am, which is something I've overcome, but it was one of the like challenges that I used to have.
Okay, I like that. Oh, that's a great place to be in, honestly speaking. What about you, May?
I think personally for me, it's just I've had to learn to work on my patience. Because not necessarily, I won't say I'm not a patient person. I don't know what you're saying. I wouldn't say I'm not a patient person, but I have a tendency to want things to be done in a certain way on my own time. And when you're working with other people,
It doesn't always work.
that's not how it works. I mean, Oiza can tolerate my excesses. She's my sister. She loves me. But when you now have to deal with professionals and people in spaces like that, so that had to be, it was one of the things that I had to overcome. And I think it was because of anxiety and stuff like that. I just wanted to be in control. But like I've learned, like as I said, I'm in a space where it's like, I don't care. It is what it is.
Highest.
I'll
I'll be a math teacher.
Teach English.
I tell you.
Or basket children.
Thank you. You see, that's, we could
Or
start a
basket
podcast.
children.
The
There.
basket,
That's actually, you know what? We'll talk after that.
No problem.
Thank you guys so much for joining me on the show.